What's going on, guys? I thought about making a video just to talk about why I'm not really enjoying making maps like I used to, especially after making my latest campaign. There are definitely some things I noticed compared to how I feel when making maps post free update 5 versus free update 2 to free update 4. I thought it would be kind of an interesting video to make, and yeah, sit back and see why I'm not really having much fun with mapping nowadays. Right off the bat, the lack of updates. Back when I was making maps during free update 2 days, yeah, those days were rough. We didn't have much features to work with, and back in those days, custom geo maps were either cartoon or hell themed. We didn't have decals, and we had to really get creative with what we got. However, we knew there were going to be updates, and that to me kind of encouraged me to make maps during that time. I guess it's because it was exciting to see what SnapMap was going to be in the future, but nowadays we know we'll never get an update and we're pretty much stuck with what we have. And yeah, you can argue we can do more creative stuff than what we could do in free update 2 days, but I miss that feeling where I would wonder what kind of features they were going to add, and that sense of feeling is gone. The second thing that I feel like a lot of mappers who've been making maps for a while can probably relate to this one, and that is running out of ideas. I think I've been mapping too long, and while SnapMap is powerful and there is much you can do with it, but I think I've been using it too much and I just kind of have no more ideas to play around with. I get more creative blocks so frequently than I used to, and it's just annoying. I miss that feeling where I would have so much of the map planned out in my head, and I would just want to finish it and then be able to get to that next area with ideas prepared. While not nowadays, it's just like I have some ideas and the other part will be me improvising, or I have to look for more inspiration from my favorite games, or look for outside sources. It's just kind of annoying. I have to go through this phase so much more often, and I like having a good flow when I make maps. It's sometimes, that type of thing can really encourage me to map, and it makes you feel like time is going fast. My third reason is kind of connected to the second reason, and that is the SnapMap limitations. For example, if I want to make a modern styled map with custom geo and it's heavily focused in an interior environment, I gotta use a lot of lighting, which kills a lot of my network. Or the same thing if I want to make maps with verticality, I can't really use melee enemies, depending the height obviously, but that still have a sense of limitation. My point is, the more I make maps, the more I want to try out new things, but I can't because I know the SnapMap limitations will prevent me from doing so. And you know me, I like having co-op support, and that's why I never turn off the network. And speaking of co-op, that's another issue I want to talk about, the bugs. There are co-op bugs that are still relevant to this day, and it's just not co-op, but also a lot of bugs that can destroy your progress of work or cause issues while using SnapMap, or it requires players to kind of play around with certain things to fix them. And sometimes I feel like, why am I doing this? Shouldn't all of this be rectified during the development of SnapMap? This reason, I don't know how many people can relate to this, but personally, I feel like I'm just losing more patience when it comes to making maps. Let's be honest, you gotta be patient when you make maps, but I'm starting to have more of these moments where I just want to finish them quickly as possible so I can play it. It used to never be like that. I used to enjoy the process of making maps, but the more I make, the more I feel like I just can't take it anymore. I feel like nowadays I just seem to have more interest in playing the maps rather than making them for some reason. I guess it's because I've made so many to a point where I just don't really enjoy making them like I used to. And this reason will also lead to my final reason of why I don't really enjoy making maps nowadays compared to back in the earlier days of SnapMap. My final reason of why I'm not enjoying making maps anymore is very simple. I'm just bored of making maps. I don't want to say I'm completely bored out of it, but I just don't have as much excitement making maps like I used to in the free update 2 or 4 days. I think this can be correlated to what I said in my second reason. I've been mapping for a long time, and I just feel like I'm at that point where it's not that much fun to do it like it used to. However, there is still a part of me that do still enjoy it from time to time because I do love Doom 2016's sandbox, and I am a big fan of the Doom series, so having the ability to create a level within one of my favorite video games of all time is still an enticing idea to me, but it's not as enticing like it used to be. There's a real reason why I try to use the summoner pretty frequently in my Knee Deep campaign, because it's one of the new things we got from SnapMap unofficially, but it's only the real new stuff for SnapMap, you know, so that sense of excitement can only last so long. With that mentioned, I don't want to say I'm completely done with mapping for Doom 2016. Like, I do still want to do a remake whenever I'm in the mood for it. Like, maybe if Doom Eternal has a SnapMap announcement, I might get hyped over that, and maybe it'll encourage me to make a map just because of that. But for now on, I think I'm just saving all of my time for Doom Eternal if there is a SnapMap. I do hope it will improve greatly from SnapMap in Doom 2016, and I think it'll eventually give me that same excitement I once had for SnapMap back in the free update 2 days. I want to go back to those days where making maps was fun and you had a sense of excitement for the future of SnapMap. Hopefully Doom Eternal will deliver that feeling again.